Hello everybody, good morning to one and all. I am Yagna. I am working as SGT in MBPS Kovivaripalli, Kondapuram Mandalam, which is in SPSR Nellore district. As we all know that we completed CLEP second phase training, and yesterday we finished the Grand Test 2, which is prepared by APSCERT. As per APSCERT guidelines, we are not supposed to share our result to any groups, but for some teachers and to clarify the doubts and let the teachers to know what is the exact answer to the questions, I am making this video and I am giving the complete credits to the APSCERT. First of all, I would like to analyze the nature of the grand test and the questions in it. It is a very typical question paper, and the questions possess multiple relevant answers, but at the end the correct answer is the only one, and it covers all 15 days training content, and it is completely teacher centric question paper, and it is a perfect evaluation to the perfect training. And we are aware that we don't find answers to the entire 50 questions like which we have done in previous assignments. So I would like to give my 50 answers with utmost care. If you find any error or mistake in my explanation or answering the questions, please respond in the comment section, and I am requesting you to share the video, which is helpful to more teachers. Now let's start the grand test. Here is the first question. Question states that concurrent translation is effect what? Concurrent translation is effective, or concurrent translation is not effective, or input should not be comprehensible, or input should be careful. What question states that? Before the answer, first of all, we should understand what is a concurrent translation. I think concurrent translation is which means both languages used in a balanced manner. So while balancing these two languages at the same time parallelly, we might find many more problems. So concurrent translation is effective is not the right answer. Concurrent translation is not effective, it is the right answer. As per the question, concurrent translation is not the effective one. Next, move on to next question. The process of mixing words and phrases from different languages is known as what? It is the process of mixing words and phrases. Here we are mixing the words and phrases. So mixing these two things. So what would be the answer? Is it the code switching? Switching in the sense moving one to another, moving away from one to another. Or code mixing? Mixing means mixing two things or three things or something. Or interposing or combining. Combining is different because code itself indicates that joining the two things. So code mixing is the right answer. What next question? What are some pedagogical approaches for promoting diversity and inclusivity? So in order to promote diversity and inclusivity, what pedagogical approaches we will follow? Is it universal design for learning, or understanding by design, or differentiated instruction, or all of the above? So seems to be all three options are right. Universal design for learning is also helpful to promote diversity and inclusivity. Understanding by design is also improves or helpful to promote diversity and inclusivity. Differentiated instruction is also useful to promote diversity and inclusivity. All of the above are the right answers. So the answer is D. Stories have to be how to be the stories? Are they be entertaining, or are they related to a topic and the theme, are they are long, are they unconnected to the learning experience? Of course, stories are entertaining, and stories are not too long, and it is not right. Unconnected to learning experience, it is not right. Stories have to be related to the topic and theme, otherwise the student doesn't show interest on it. If there is no logic, what is the use of listening a story? So but the logic should be confined to the subject oriented or topic oriented. Otherwise telling the simple stories or funny stories, it doesn't mean to improve the education, or it doesn't mean to improve the subject. So the stories have to be related to the topic and the theme. Next, which of the following is usually not a part of TPR course? So before going to answer this question, we should understand what is TPR. TPR means total physical response, and it is a language teaching method used to coordinate speak and action. So it will coordinate the speak and action TPR course. So in the following answers, we need to find out the which is not part of the TPR course. Realia. Uh, have a look on it. Realia. Realia means which we these objects and materials which we used in our daily life, they will treat as a TLM. And the textbook or materials or classroom, which is not part of the TPR course. Materials, classroom, realia, these are the part of the TPR course, but textbook is not the text is not the part of TPR course. So answer is text. In TPR, learners have primary roles of what primary roles does the students play in the TPR course? They will acted as a listener and presenter, or they acted as a listener and performer, or they acted as a listener and speaker, or they acted as a speaker and writer. What? So as per TPR, if you remember the TPR, it is a language technique or method to coordinate speak and action. So if you speak, the student able to listen it, and accordingly, as per your instructions, accordingly he will perform. So he will do actions. So probably, not probably, apparently this is the right answer. Listener and performer is the right answer. Next, the prior knowledge of student is encoded in their the perfect knowledge of student is encoded in their brains, or in their homes, or from the second language, or from home language. The prior knowledge of student is encoded in their home language, because the knowledge, the very first knowledge which the student get in initial stages, obviously from his or her home. So the mother tongue or the home language is useful to get the prior knowledge of the student. So home language is the right answer. Next question, what is the importance of reflecting on questions while writing diaries? Once again, what is the importance of reflecting on questions while writing diaries? While writing diaries, some questions will mingling in your mind. Here diaries means not a personal diary, it is about teacher diary. So what is the importance of reflecting on questions while writing diaries? So the answer is, let's have a look on it. It will help teachers to ask questions in the class. Are those reflecting questions useful to ask the questions in the class? No. It will help teachers to reflect deeply. Yes, I think it will help the questions which you get while you are writing diary will reflect you deeply. They will those questions must be answerable. So in order to get the answers, you will think deeply, and finally you will get the answer and solution. So it will help teachers to reflect deeply is the right answer. But have a look on the other two options. It will make teachers more intelligent. Oh, of course, somewhat. It will give the best format for diary writing. No, it is not the proper right answer. The correct option is B. Reflecting on questions while writing diaries, it will help the teachers to reflect deeply. Next, questions for interaction for learners are given mainly to serve for the purpose, I think, not for the purpose of what? Questions for interactions for learners. So while we doing interactions, there must be somewhat of an questions from the speaker and from the listeners. So while this interaction happens, this will helps to connect the text with the learner's own experience, or to predict what is going to happen next, or to promote critical thinking. All these three were considerable answers. So it will helps to connect the interaction, and the questions helps to connect the text with the learner's own experience. Through the questions, the learner get answers for that questions, and he will get somewhat of an experiences. And through the questions, through the interactions, there is a chance to predict what is going to happen. And to the to pose by posing the questions, it is also improves to promote the critical thinking among the learners. So all these three were the correct answers. So the right option is D. Next, extensive reading is when extensive reading in the sense, other than the textbook, other than the classroom. Like, let's have a look on it. Students read inside the class. This is not the right answer. Students read for pleasure and texts of their choice. Students read together in small groups. Next, students read a passage for answering specific questions. So what would be the right answer? Extensive reading is the students read for the pleasure and text of their own choice. So if he can able to adopt this type of reading, he can take his own books as per his interest, just like stories, or historical things, or very new things, very creative books. As per his interest, he will choose the book or a textbook, and he will read it for their pleasure. So option B is the right answer. Whole language approach promotes. So taking the language as a whole thing, what we will do, it will improve the communication, or it will improve the speaking skills, or it will improve the literacy skills, or none of the above. Speaking skills, whole language approach promotes, of course. Mm, by exploring the language, we can improve speaking skills and literacy skills. But having the skills in itself, it doesn't matter. Using these skills, we need to communicate. So whole language approach promotes definitely communication. Next, pictures and stories promote what? So what is the use of pictures and stories by importing in the textbook? So they will do active participation and interactions, or they will do they will make student interest towards the lesson, or they will do in-depth understanding of concepts. All these three were right. They will do active part on pictures and stories. The right pictures and the stories promotes active participation of the students, and there is much more scope to interact. And using these pictures and write stories, student shows more interest towards the lesson. And using a perfect picture, there is a scope for in-depth understanding of the concept. All these three were correct. So all of the above is the right answer. What is the last step of reflection? See, while doing reflection, what we will take as the last step? Uncovering initial benefits. So we have initial benefits, and we need to uncover, is it the last step, or arriving the desired theory of practice? At the end of the lesson, we will get the desired theory of practice. Is it the right answer, or changed practice? At the end of this session, you will find out through the reflection, you will find out what are your pits and falls, and you as per your pits and falls, you will change your practice. Is it the right answer? Or breakthrough connections are made? I think at the end of the reflection, we came to know that what mistakes we have committed, and in order to reduce or eradicate those mistakes, we need to develop many more theories or many more plans. So we need to change our practices finally. Option C is the right answer. Which of the following, next question, which of the following statements is true? We need to find out the true statement among these four. It is all about motivation, I think. Let's see. First one, motivation is a simple thing. Motivation is not a simple thing. In order to bring the motivation from the students, we need to do many more activities, such as stories or simple activities, many things. It is not a simple thing, it is a complex thing. Motivation is a complex thing, and it is a context specific. Of course it is a context specific, but option A possess simple thing, it is not correct. Let's go for option B. Motivation is a complex and context specific thing. I think this is the right answer. Next, third, motivation is complex and universally same. No, motivation is not universally same, because see in your class, by bringing 20% of motivation, some students get into the class, getting into the lesson, and for some students we need 50% of motivation. For some students we need to focus of 80% of motivation. It's all about individual differences. So in motivation doesn't same universally, and motivation is simple and universalism. It is not the correct answer. Motivation is a complex thing and context specific thing. So option B is the right answer. Next, what is emergent literacy rare in Indian? Why is emergent literacy rare in Indian context? Why? Because we have high levels of illiteracy? No, more than 70% of Indian people were literate. This is not the right answer. Or because we have rich oral traditions? Of course we have oral traditions, that too rich. Next, because we are a poor country? No, we are a developing country, not a poor country. Next, because our school system is weak? No, our school system is much more better than the so many countries. It is not a weak system. So, since we have rich oral traditions, our emergent literacy rare in the Indian context. So option B is the right answer. There are how many phases of there are dash phases of knowledge acquisition in the UNESCO framework for teachers. Yes, as per material, there are 3 phases of knowledge acquisition, such as technology literacy, knowledge deepening, knowledge creation. So answer is 3. Interpersonal skills are, what are the interpersonal skills? Are they related to academics? Are they related to studies only? Are they about making friends online? No. Is it only confined to making online friends? Interpersonal skills means, or the ability of individuals to communicate effectively and build healthy relationships? Are the interpersonal skills useful to the individual to communicate effectively in the society and build healthy relationships with their peer groups or heads or lower cadre people? Are they optional and required by selected individuals to develop? So interpersonal skills are the ability of individuals to communicate effectively and build healthy relationships. This is the right answer. Project based learning is a part of what? Project based learning is a part of what type of learning? Is it a part of discovery learning, or is it a part of assisted discovery, or is it a part of reciprocal teaching, or is it a part of scaffolding? What? Project based learning games, it is must and shouldly it is a part of discovery learning. So through the projects, and the student discovers many more things which he doesn't know. So discovery learning is the right answer. Next, what areas can teachers reflect on while writing diaries? So while writing diaries, what areas the teacher should take consideration. Is the areas of content, methods and assessments only, or the areas related to student performance only, or any area which is relevant to him, or areas related to the teacher's life. Obviously teacher's life, it is not a personal diary, it is a professional diary which is a teacher's diary. So this is not the right answer. Of course the diary may persist content, methods and assessments, areas related to the student performance, but these two fall in the third option, any area which is relevant. All these two areas also relevant to the teacher. So if the teachers think this point is considerable, then he will possess the freedom to take that point. So any area which is relevant, he need to take care of consideration. Option C is the right answer. Choosing a developmentally appropriate teaching method refers to what? Choosing a developmentally appropriate teaching method refers to what? So we need to choose a method which is useful to developmentally. So using methods suitable to how children develop and learn, or using the same method over and over? No. Through the trainings, days passing, we are changing ourselves and we are changing our teaching techniques. So this is not the right answer. And using different methods to develop children, of course we will use different methods to develop the children, but if you observe the option A, using methods suitable to how children develop and learn, because every individual, every children is different. So we need to we are not supposed to follow the same technique or same teaching method to the all students. We need to incorporate teaching methods as per the child. So using methods suitable to how children develop and learn is the right answer. Evaluation happens. Evaluation is a big word, with evaluation, it is a comprehensive thing which includes in and out. So that is what CCE refers to. Am I right? So this evaluation happens within the education and outside of the education. That is what we are doing in our classroom, and that is what CCE refers to. So both A and B are the right answer. What is the format of writing diaries? I am asking you the question, is there any specific format to the teachers to write a diary, teacher's diary? Let's have a look. The teacher can plan and choose any format. So teacher's diary is the teacher personal thing. So he can plan himself and he can choose any format. He or she has that much of freedom to write the diaries, or teacher should write all reflections in a grid. No, they are not supposed to write all reflections in a single grid. And teacher should write a long notes. We are not supposed to get a book and we are not supposed to write a big notes in it. Or the same format should be followed always. There is no specific format for diary. So we are not supposed to copy the diary from others. So obviously teacher has his own freedom to plan it and to choose any format. So option A is the right answer. Next, teacher must download dash version of application. So using tab or ICT tools, we are developing the students through ICT, information and communication technology. So in order to do it, we must and should download some apps from the Play Store. So or they should be latest ones, or they should be entertaining apps, or they should be child friendly, or they should be popular. What? So obviously we are not supposed to download the latest apps, and we are not supposed to download entertaining apps. Since these two, and also we are not supposed to download popular apps, because these three were not suitable to our teaching environment. So in order to build the best teaching environment, we need to download child friendly apps. Next, instruction of lessons in the classroom should build on students. So while we are doing some instructions and while we are dealing some topics in the classroom, what should build on the students? Is it build the knowledge, or is it build the experience, or both of these, or none of the above? See, after dealing a class, at the end of the session, obviously the student gets somewhat of a knowledge and the student gets somewhat of an experience at the end of the class. So option C is the right answer. Follow a backward design approach to adaptation of lessons refers to what? So going backward design approach, adaptation of a lesson refers to what? Let's find out. Finishing the last page of the lesson first? No, it doesn't. Backward design approach doesn't mean that finishing the last pages at the first. Keeping the expected final outcome of the lesson in mind, or following an old method of teaching, or all of the above. This is some typical question, because sometimes all of the above is right, but a very few times it may not be right. So just I will give you 5 seconds or 10 seconds to think about it. You just think about it. Okay, finish. Your time is up. Follow a backward design approach to adaptation of lesson refers to it doesn't mean that finishing the last pages of the lessons first. Of course, it is keeping the expected final outcome of the lesson in the mind. So by keeping the expected outcome in our mind, we need to design the approach. Following old method of teaching is not correct. So keeping the expected final outcome of the lesson in the mind is the right answer. Next, important information for CCE can come from. See, of course, CCE is the technique developed by the government or the heads of APSCERT. But as a matter of fact, we are the real-time persons to implement it. So in that point of view, this important information for CCE can come from system-oriented tests, which is conducted by the government, or teacher-managed test, which is conducted by the teachers, such as formative assessments or some assignments, or student diaries. No. So through the teacher observations, we can get much more important information for CCE. So teacher observations is the right answer. Next, in TPR approach, grammar is taught. So while following the TPR approach, and while dealing the grammar as per this approach, how should be the grammar is taught? Deductively, I mean, is grammar to be taught separately, or inductively, or grammar is taught inclusively, or formally, concisely? Inductively is the right answer, because while teaching the class, we need to mix that grammar in our teaching. Otherwise, it is very critical to understand by the students to learn the grammar separately. We need to incorporate that grammar in our lessons. We need to mix it. So inductively is the right answer. Next, which of these options are suitable for teachers to explore new words? So without seeing options, we can confine that exploring new words happens only through dictionaries. So here we have all the dictionaries, such as Webster's dictionary, Oxford dictionary, Cambridge dictionary. So all of the above is the right answer. The dash will be the extremely useful to decode pronunciation. So in order to decode the pronunciation, is textbook is useful, or phonetic chart is useful, or syllabus is useful, or lesson plan is useful? Phonetic chart is specific thing which will helpful to decode the pronunciation. So option B is the right answer. Next, children learn through social interactions. This concept was proposed by, obviously, Lev Vygotsky. Next, while teaching grammar to young learners, our approach should be what? So, you are teaching the grammar to your students. So what approach you should involve? Is it a learning centric approach, or is it a meaning focused approach, or both A and B, or none of the above? Obviously, we need to focus on learning centered thing, and we need to focus on meaning. So both A and B are correct answers. So right answer is option C. Which of the options given below is a TLM? So among these options, what we will consider as a TLM? A YouTube video in our while dealing the news stories or rhymes, we will use YouTube as a tool for TLM. Really, as I said, really means which we use in daily life and taking them as TLM. So this is also a TLM. And farming tools. While dealing the farming class, to the students, you will show the farming tools as a TLM. So all these three were the right answers. All of the above is right. Pictures have to be how they were. Pictures have to be how they have to be. We need to find out here. Are they colorful with cartoon characteristics? Of course. Informative and related to the topic and theme? Yes. In learning concept, these pictures have to be informative and related to the topic. If we post any unrelated pic in the lesson, what is the use of it? There should be some relation and there should be some theme. So this is the right answer. But have a look on the other options. Placed for decorative purpose of the text? No, they are not for decorative purpose. Used for a few subjects? No. Pictures doesn't mean for doesn't confine for only few subjects. In all textbooks we can see the pictures and they were informative and related to the topic. So option B is the right answer. ICT in primary education, information and communication technology in primary education, how it helpful? It will bridge the learning divides. Yes, of course. Support the development of teachers, of course. It develops the teachers, enhance the quality and relevance of learning. Yes, it improves the quality of teaching and so that to improve the learning also. So all of the above are the right answers. Digital literacy is also called, is it transformative learning or electronic education or virtual learning or e-learning or interdisciplinary learning? Virtual learning is the right answer. CC refers to, as you know, that it is a continuous comprehensive evaluation. Who can be critical friends? Here, before going to the options, let's find out what is the meaning of critical. Here, critical means critical friend means he is there for you, who shows your positives, who addresses your negatives, who addresses your strengths, who addresses your achievements. So let's have a look on the options. Critical friends are those who judge the teacher, are those who always give advice, are those who support your colleagues. Yes, supportive colleagues is, they are critical friends are nothing but supportive colleagues. They will support whenever you did mistake, they will appreciate you whenever you made an achievement. So supportive colleagues is the right answer. How important is teaching grammar contextually to young learners? So by dealing grammar, how important is the grammar? Let's have a look. Is it very important? Is teaching grammar contextually or somewhat important, not very important, or not important at all? No, it is very important to teach the grammar to the students. So option A is the right answer. A motivated teacher uses repeated teaching styles? No, he doesn't use repeated teaching styles. Conventional teaching styles? No. Productive teaching styles? Yes. There should be some productivity after teaching. There should be some fruit in terms of knowledge getting by the students in terms of satisfaction getting by the teacher. So after dealing a class, the teacher come out from the class with a mm, satisfaction of some levels, and in the context of students, they must feel that yes, today I learned something very new. So productive teaching styles are the productive teaching styles is the correct answer. Next, opportunities to participate in decision making process of the curriculum enhances what? So this question emphasizes that thing that you as a teacher involved in the decision making process to enhance the curriculum, then how you will feel? Is it improves your teaching skill, or is it improve your motivation, or is it improve the student retention, or is it improve to the student learning? This entire grand test is in the concern of teacher, not to the student. So opportunities to participate, if you get any opportunity to participate in decision making process, definitely it will motivates you. So teacher motivation is the right answer. Next, which of the following is not a digital tool? Which of the following we will not use as a ICT thing? So Google search engine we will use as a teaching thing. MS technical thing, MS Word, MS Paint, and MS PowerPoint. This is also a digital tool. Craft materials means which are handmade materials. Those were not comes under digital tools. And ebooks is also a digital tool. So craft materials is the right answer. Scaffolding is defined as, what is the definition of scaffold? Is it the teacher's instruction to the students? No. Is it the adjusting the support to fit the child's current level of performance? Yes. An element which increases peer collaboration? No. Help given by teachers to whole class by providing extra material? No. So scaffolding is it is a definition. So the definition is, it is the adjusting the support to fit the child's current level of performance. Option B is the right answer. Promoting inclusivity in the classroom refers to what? So if you are supposed to import inclusiveness, I mean including the students, it refers to what? Including the best learners in the activities. Do we include only the best learners? No. Valuing every learner unconditionally. So we'll take each and every students without making any conditions and without showing any bias. Is it the right answer? Or avoiding physically weak students in the games? No. Discussing financial backgrounds among the learners? No. So to promote inclusiveness in the classroom, we need to value each and every student unconditionally without showing any bias. So answer is B. Next, the phrase evaluation that feeds into teaching means evaluation that what? So evaluation that feeds into teaching. So how the evaluation helpful to the teaching? Is it interferes with the teaching? No. Is it promotes the teaching? Of course. Is it interferes with learning? No. Is it consumes the teaching? No. Evaluation is always helpful to the teaching, so it promotes the teaching, not this. Option B is the right answer. Next, blocking vocabulary is a list of words. What? Blocking vocabulary means we are blocking some words. So what is the exact meaning of it? Let's check the answers. That are in the lesson and related to the theme or topic, or that not in the textbook. They are not in the textbook. Is it the right answer? That are related to the topic but not in the textbook. Those vocabulary is related to the topic but they are not presented in the textbook. Is it the right answer? Or that are not part of the lesson. I mean, that is also, that vocabulary doesn't belongs to the lesson. What is the right answer? Blocking vocabulary means that vocabulary is in the lesson and related to the topic, but we are not using that vocabulary. That is what we will call blocking vocabulary. They are related to the topic and they are related to the theme, they are related to the lesson. Even though they are related to all these things, we are not supposed to use that vocabulary. That vocabulary is known as the blocking vocabulary. So option A is the right answer. Next, teachers must supervise primary students with ICT while using ICT things such as tablets, computers, and mobiles of you. While using the students these IT tools, how much supervision we need to show? We need, sometimes, or we need to show all times, or we need to supervise rarely or never. We need to supervise all times, otherwise those are very expensive tools. ICT tools were very expensive tools, so while handling they may not get proper attention, they might fail sometimes, so it will cause us a bigger loss. So we need to supervise at all times. Option B is the right answer. Next, Paraguay and Boyle in 2001 conclude that what they will conclude. So, as per material and the webinar sessions, we know that teachers must integrate speaking and listening in the reading process. We are not supposed to divide these two things. We need to integrate speaking and listening in the reading process. This is the right answer. Reading is an important skill. It is not right. Integration of skills is challenging. No, teachers must integrate speaking and listening skills in the reading process. Next, project work is an excellent way to work. Project work is an excellent way. Is it to motivate the students, or to make lessons plan effective, or integrate skill based learning? None of the above. Of course, project work is motivates the students, and of course, by importing project work in your lesson plan, your lesson plan would make effective. But apart from these two, integrate skill based learning is the main answer, because project work, uh, which is helpful to develop the students to think himself and to elaborate himself and to cope up with the other children, to do group activities. All these things happens. So integrate skill based learning is the way. So C is the right answer. And according to Asher, how many lexical items can be children learn in an hour? Lexical items is nothing but a single word or a part of a word or chain of words. So in an hour, how many items children able to learn? As per his study, Asher stated that 12 to 36. The children can assimilate 12 to 36 lexical items in an hour. So option D is the right. Digital literacy prepares young learners too. So using ICT tools, we will enhance the digital literacy, and it prepares the young learners for what? To engage in technology through tools and resources and use them both safely and responsibly. Or is it useful to join the social media, Facebook, WhatsApp, or Twitter? No. Is it useful to play the games on computer and phone? No. This doesn't mean that. ICT doesn't mean these two things, B and C. And complete homework and assignments using sources found online? No, it doesn't mean that 100% useful to complete the assignments or homeworks. Digital literacy prepares the young learners to engage in the technology through tools and resources and use them both safely and responsibly. Option A is the right answer. So this is the score we have seen on the screen. Our 50 answers were right. Hope this video is very helpful to you, and I just want to say a big thanks to APSCERT because they just underwent for a good program, good training, and especially I'm giving big thumbs up to the persons who prepared this question paper, because this is very versatile question paper which I found in recent years. It is very useful to the teachers and the others also. So thank you SCRT, thank you very much. Thank you for showing your patience. It is just about 45 minutes. It will take thanks for spending your valuable time. If you like it, please share it, and if you found any mistakes or if you have any opinions, please comment in the comment section box. Thank you. Bye bye.